All right, what's up guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over 18 different lessons that I've learned running a low five-figure a month marketing agency in the SMMA niche. And hopefully by extension, you guys can take something of value, extrapolate it out into your own life, and realize that what you're going through is pretty similar among other agency owners. And so let's get into it. Problem one, problem delayed is problem multiplied. There have been times in my agency, and I'm sure you guys are watching this, where you're just clicking publish and you're forgetting, or you're not talking to your clients on a regular basis, or you're not doing the follow-ups that you should be doing. And this is going to control you because what you don't control controls you. And so problem delayed is problem multiplied. If you leave something for the future and for whatever you're waiting for, the problem is only going to amplify, not just get worse in a linear progression. It's exponential, right? And it's really important that you tackle things head on at speed and get things done ASAP. And yes, of course, you will be putting out fires in the beginning if you are just a one-man team, but you have to go through this period and understand that what you don't control is going to control you. Second point, have high integrity. Guys, I've been in this space for, close to 9 months now. I've seen a lot of bad people, a lot of people who just, fake shit, make shit up, and it's part of the game. I completely understand it, right? But I think that it stains your soul a little bit. And if you kind of live with low integrity, aren't doing things that you know you should be doing when nobody's watching, then it's just gonna kind of deteriorate your soul. And I don't think, you're gonna sleep well at night. At least that's my opinion, right? You could disagree or whatever you want. But I think that if you just attack things and attack problems with high integrity, do the right thing at all times, even when no one's watching, it's gonna make your life feel a lot pure and your heart and soul feel a lot pure as well. And then by having that sense of feeling, it's gonna make you go about what you're actually doing on sales calls and building a team and the conviction in your voice. It's gonna be a lot easier if you attack things with high integrity. Lesson 3, set expectations with yourself and your clients. And so with your clients, this is what happens. Problems arise when expectations aren't met. And that's why I emphasize all the time, when taking sales calls and dropping the pitch, under deliver and then under promise and then over deliver. And so you always want to set the expectations super low. And even if they do close, because most companies, truth be told, they might have been burnt before in the past, right? And if they get appointments within the first 24 hours and you didn't even tell them about that, then their expectations are blown out the water. And it's a good thing. And it's a great way to start the relationship off on the right note. And with yourself, entrepreneurship is hard. Prerequisites for any sort of success is pain and suffering. You have to set the right expectations for yourself, and that this journey of entrepreneurship and of starting an SMMA isn't going to be easy. And it's not just the agency space specifically, it's any business endeavor. And so you can't keep hopping around business models and keep thinking to yourself, oh, this sounds nice, let's go do this. Anything is hard. Stick with one thing for long enough, set the right expectations, have the right mindset, and you're going to be fine moving forward. Fifth, use the market, or fourth, respect yourself and understand the value you bring. I really do think that one of the main purposes of life, guys, is self-respect. And I think this is important because a lot of times, people get really frustrated, agency owners like myself and others, sometimes you've gotten really frustrated whether you didn't close or nothing's working out for you. And I think that, as you continue to get really good at these skills, you're gonna just have so much more success and feel a lot more in control of your life. And when you have this feeling and this sense of security and control in yourself and your skills, it means you have a lot more self-respect and that you're gonna make more money, you're gonna close more deals. And I do think that when you fall off, it's simply because of a lack of respect, and people just don't have that self-confidence or that respect to their name, to their self, to allow them to keep going. And so when people fall off, it's like a really dark abyss, and it's so easy to just fall off entirely. But you need the self-respect for yourself and for when building a team and for believing in what you believe and for sticking to your truth. And I really do think, again, bringing this full circle, one of the main purposes of life is to respect yourself. And it's just for self-respect. That's my opinion. Number 5, use the market as feedback. And so in the beginning, you're gonna get clients that are gonna reach out to you throughout the program, be like, hey, can you fix this? Hey, this is great. Hey, this is bad. Can we fix this? And every single time they tell you to fix something, you have to take note of it, whether it's, hey, the lead quality is bad, or hey, why isn't the SMS working? Or hey, can we get this automation fixed? Or hey, can we do this? You wanna take note of everything and make sure that these problems do not come again for the next clients moving forward, because if they do, then you're just repeating a fire and it's not going to be sustainable. And so you need to use the market as feedback, and it's going to tell you what's good and what's bad. Number 6, get good at skills before hiring. This is a really important part because a lot of times people fall victim to just hiring like dozens of sellers and hiring closers. And if the team were to come to you with questions, you just wouldn't know what to do, what to say, or how to act. And you're just clueless. You're just lost. You have no direction for your team. There's no structure, no chain of command or anything. And they're just gonna kind of be like, okay, I don't really have a sense of security here with this marketing agency. Let me just go to the next. And so you need to get good at everything before hiring. Number 7, map out your desired goals by defining the inputs. And this is the more mindset aspect of the lessons. And that is, you need to understand what inputs are going to give you what outputs. And when you define the inputs, it's going to make you track. And when you track something, it's going to give you micro wins along the way. And another really important thing too is you can't improve what you're not tracking. And so data and stats are just a really important part of the journey. And you need to know everything about your company, because if you don't, you're just going to be lost. You're unsure what the problem is, and it's just going to be chaotic. So that's number 7. Number 8, never stop selling. This is really important, pretty self-explanatory. Number 9, never stop recruiting. Similar thing there, but you want to make sure that you understand all the skills and all the parts of the business. Number 10, always be growing. You are the bottleneck. And so Hormozi said there's 3 main reasons as to why any company on earth is at a bottleneck or a standstill. And think of it as a ladder. On the left-hand side, you have your character traits. On the middle, you have your skill sets, and on the right-hand side, you have your mindset. And so those 3 things, if you are pretty self-aware, ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I lacking? And then slowly improve each one of these traits one day at a time and invest in yourself. But it's those 3 things which are typically the bottlenecks of the company. And one of the harsh truths about, business or entrepreneurship in general, it's that you aren't good enough or nobody knows who you are. Pretty much those 2 things are why most companies aren't growing, like myself included, right? Like I'm not perfect. I'm not here just preaching, like I'm God or something. Like there have been times like I'm not good enough like that. That's why I'm not making $50,000 a month just yet, right? Like, but I'm aware of the situation and I know how to fix these problems, right? So you're not good enough or nobody knows who you are. That's pretty much it. So number 11, stop choosing limiting beliefs. Another mindset thing right here, guys, is like, why do we choose the limiting beliefs? Why do we choose we think it's going to be hard? Why do we choose $10,000 a month is like super hard? It's not. And when you actually are able to kind of identify the beliefs in you and eliminate them because you've been conditioned for the last 20, 25, 30 years of your life and you haven't questioned any of these things before, that's the truth. That's uncovering the unknown, and it's painful, that process. But unlearning these limiting beliefs and the identity that we have in ourselves is really only going to set you free. And it's not something that just comes like this or overnight. It's a slow, progressive thing that takes time. But you need to stop choosing why things take so long. For example, I use this scenario in the beginning of my agency days, not so much anymore because the motivation and desire kind of has changed as to why I do what I do. But it's like, okay, gun to your head, 30 days, can you make $10,000 or not? If not, you're going to die. If yes, you're going to live. Or even drastically, you can take a more negative and serious, thought, and that is, your family dies, not just you, your family dies if you don't make $10,000 in 30 days. Can you do it? And when you put yourself in that mindset, yes, of course, it's going to be extremely intense and painful, but pressure makes diamonds, and you're going to come out the other side as a much better person than if not. Okay? So, but number 12, buy coaching programs. If you guys hear people online talking about courses and mentorships, it's all a scam. Those people are idiots. Don't listen to anyone. Buy courses. Alex Hormozi is a byproduct of basically, this entire industry. He's bought everything under the sun. He spoke about it publicly. This isn't me just making shit up, okay? So buy courses, buy everything. If you get scams, well, it's most likely you didn't get scammed probably just because you didn't use the actual program or the course content. Even if it's just one thing that you took away, that's still something new that you learned than if you didn't purchase it, right? So invest in yourself. The SME 500, not the S&P 500. Number 13, become the best, don't half-ass it. If you're just here to make some money and chill off, cool, that's you, but don't then complain about things or things that you don't have that you're not willing to work for. And so, anything in my life, it's 100% balls to the walls, become the best at, because that's just kind of the mindset that I grew up with, whether it was, with sports or whatever it was, right? Like if you're going to do something, go all the way, no half-assing, because the market is going to reward you if you're the best at what you do. Then, if you're just some average low-level agency owner, right? So, number 14, selling is something you do for people and not to people. What is the difference between manipulation and influence? Intent, just one word, intent. We're not manipulating people, guys, on these sales calls. We're coming from a place of wanting to help because we're doing it for them. And we're doing it for their situation, for their business, for their family, and that they get the life that they actually want and stop living the life that they don't like. 15, always control frame on calls. One of the most important things I've learned on sales calls, it really just boils down to like authority and frame. And you need to have your prospect look up to you as the authority and the respective marketing agency owner, because if not, they're just going to look down on you. And that's why it's really important to kind of like not leave things, like so much open-ended, be like, does that make sense? It's kind of like this, use analogies here and there, but you always want to kind of have frame, have authority. And that's why the person in charge of conversations is the one that's asking the questions, not answering them. A lot of people have it reversed where it's like, oh, I'm answering. Oh, I'm, telling the world how smart I am. No, that's not it. If you're having a conversation with someone, the person that's in charge is the one asking the questions, because you're guiding them to answers you most likely already know. Okay? 16, take responsibility for all the good and all the bad. This is a core principle that I live by. Every single thing in your life, take responsibility for the good and the bad that has happened. And you can only improve when you understand that you are responsible for the outcomes of your life. People that are really negative and don't have this kind of mindset, guys, the truth, just stay away from those people. People that like deflect blame onto the economy or onto their parents, or that nothing in their life is a result of, the choices they made. Stay away from those people. They're idiots, they're low lives, and they just have really negative energy, okay? So that's point 16. Point 17, act in the identity of your dream self. Now, this is a really core principle, and it's like anytime you're stuck in a decision-making dilemma, you want to ask yourself, okay, what is that version of myself who is making $500,000 a month? And what are they gonna make in this moment as a decision? Because like there have been times in my life where I was stuck between two pretty close decisions with the agency or with clients or with media buying, or with even just doing work in general. And I was like, okay, if I'm running a 6-figure a month agency, what type of person do I have to become in order to get there? And so as you kind of make decisions in that version, in that image of your future self, what you naturally do is just your subconscious attaches onto it, and you just slowly start to become that person. That's why manifestation is a real thing, right? Because you're acting in the identity of that person you want to become. And that's point 17. Last point 18, bite more than you can chew, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, you want to make your schedule as chaotic as possible. You want to just be waking up, dialing, learning, watching as much free content as much as you can, or if you are in courses, take away every single thing, watch things over 3-4x, and just make sure you understand everything. But you want to be as chaotic as possible, because in the beginning, you just need raw action. And once you have so much raw damn action, you can then reflect and look back and be like, okay, this is what went right. This is what went wrong. How can I exactly improve on that situation? How can I make better of this? How can I make sure this doesn't happen again? And so that's why, again, it's really important just to make this schedule as chaotic as possible for you in the beginning. But all right, guys, this was 18 lessons I've learned. Hopefully by extension, you could understand that you aren't going through it just by yourself. It's pretty standard, some of these lessons among others in the space. And I hope that this was of value. And I'll see you in the next. All right, peace.